Few people have a good thought process when it comes to the New Orleans Police Department. Now, watching this video, I'm well aware that there are going to be some sycophants of law enforcement that are going to go, every officer is a good guy. No, they're not. What you're about to watch is a news clip of an NOPD officer, New Orleans Police Department officer, who, well, just got fired because he really is that bad of an officer. Now, they are starting to fire officers at the NOPD. They should have started doing this years ago. This guy and his immediate supervisor, a lieutenant, refused to do their job correctly. Instead, they went after somebody who was trying to point out that there were problems in the lab down at New Orleans. So, there's that problem. Then there's just simple fact that it's New Orleans. I, I can understand a little bit of, working in a different manner because I've understood New Orleans for a while. I like New Orleans, but the police department down there needs to be cleaned up, and it's still under FBI supervision because of how bad it is. Now, mind you, I think that it's probably gone a little too long, but there keeps being problems like this showing up, which means that the FBI probably do need to supervise. So, I want you to take a look at this. By the way, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Rumble, can I get you to hit like, subscribe, all that fun stuff? So let's get into this news clip.
Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
NOPD almost 5 years to fire an officer who was the focus of a Fox 8 investigation.
As Chief Investigative Reporter Stephen Stock reports, an internal NOPD review found that police sergeant violated department policy and a co-worker's civil rights.
So I started looking elsewhere, thought about going back to school.
Carl Vonderhaar hoped to spend his career as a chemist working in a police crime lab. Instead, he now spends time making ends meet, driving for Uber.
I didn't see myself here 4.5 years later. I saw myself as a rising forensic scientist, maybe a supervisor role in the future.
Almost 5 years ago, Vonderhaar lost that career after he says he spoke out about problems he witnessed within NOPD's crime lab.
I feel like I've been punished for trying to do the right thing.
Vonderhaar says his whistleblower crime lab complaints prompted this.
Oh, how you doing? Doing good. I actually don't want to talk right now, so well, you need to talk to me. You have to at this point.
This police body camera footage from 2020 shows officers at Vonderhaar's home. He says the visit came after he requested a leave of absence, citing his concerns about poor working conditions, lack of standard procedures, and faulty testing at the crime lab that he says could make an innocent person look guilty. Vonderhaar's then supervisors at the crime lab, Sergeant Michael Shalbert, along with Lieutenant Kim Williams, showed up at his home and insisted he needed to come downtown with them.
You have shorts on? I have underwear. Okay. Myself and his officer is going to come and escort you, make sure you put some pants on. Escort me where?
As Fox 8 first reported back in 2023, Shalbert and Williams claimed they were there to conduct a wellness check.
No. You're not under arrest. You work for the New Orleans Police Department. You're not under arrest.
Despite Vonderhaar's insistence he was fine, body camera video shows Officer Shalbert put the scientist in the back of a police cruiser with the doors locked, repeatedly telling him he had no choice but to go with them and take a drug test.
At this point, we're just concerned about your well-being.
So I'm not under arrest for that.
You are not under arrest at all. Pre-trained. Call PID. I just got off the phone with him. PID said that you need to come to their office.
Then,
But I'm not under arrest, so I can go back now.
You're not going to jail.
To this day, Vandahar believes this was an attempt to stop him from raising concerns about problems at the crime lab.
I considered it a false arrest because they weren't giving me the option to leave. They put me in a back of a police SUV where you can't escape, it's locked. Well, a wellness check is you get there, you see everybody's fine, and then you leave.
Once at the drug testing facility, Vandahar says officers Stalbert and Williams led him to believe that the only way he could go back home was to resign on the spot. So he did.
I honestly expected them to fire me, which I think I would have been more okay. I definitely would have been more okay with.
After Vandahar filed the complaint, the NOPD investigated Sergeant Stalbert's and Lieutenant Williams's conduct during the incident. The PIB found the officers violated NOPD rules of professionalism and abused their positions. Williams got an 11-day suspension. Sergeant Stalbert was also found to have violated standards of moral conduct and adherence to the law. Now, nearly 5 years later, NOPD fired Stalbert on May 17th. Officials confirmed to Fox 8 that Stalbert was terminated for violations during that incident with Vandahar in 2020.
I think the punishment fits the crime. I mean, it's been a long time, honestly.
Too long?
It's definitely too long for some kind of punishment to be doled out. Yeah, in my eyes anyways.
This case wasn't the only one involving Officer Stalbert. Our investigation uncovered between 2007 and 2021, the Public Integrity Bureau found he violated policy 12 times, including incidents of neglect of duty and use of force. Before he was fired, Stalbert had received a total of 14 days of suspension for all those previous violations.
And this is exactly what we don't need in the police department.
Skip Gallagher was Vandahar's chemistry teacher at the University of New Orleans. After Vandahar told him what happened in 2020, Gallagher started digging through NOPD records and now tracks misconduct within the department.
These are supposed to be people that you turn to for help. And if you instead have somebody who is aggressive and excessively uses force, the department isn't the place for you.
Gallagher says even with the years-long delay of Stalbert's firing, he's encouraged by the NOPD's recent action.
There is some leadership now that is seriously concerned about the integrity of the department.
But for Vandahar, that justice came with a price. He says he hasn't found any work in forensics since and can only earn money as an Uber driver.
I mean, I pretty much gave up trying to do forensics anywhere. You know, once you kind of put yourself out there and, you know, as a whistleblower, as you would, you don't really get a lot of callbacks from employment opportunities.
So far this year, the NOPD has fired 4 members of the force, including Officer Stalbert. On the same day Stalbert was terminated, NOPD also fired Officer Tyrone Parker. Records we obtained show the PIB found from 2011 to 2023, Parker violated department policy 13 times, including 7 different allegations of violating use of force procedures and failing to turn on his body-worn camera during arrest.
I am impressed. After seeing the recent terminations that have occurred in the last just 6 months or so, I am, and all of these are very, very justifiable.
Carl Vandahar still has a pending lawsuit against the NOPD claiming Stalbert and Williams violated his civil rights that day. Fox 8 reached out to the attorney representing both Stalbert and Tyrone Parker, but the attorney had no comment on their firings.
Now, something that I find hilarious is people complain because you know, they are constantly saying that cops are good guys. No, cops are people. People are individuals. And each individual does things for their own reasons. Not all cops are good people. Not all cops are bad people. There are some heroes that are cops. There are some that go into doing this job with the wrong intentions. So quit thinking of cops as one massive pillar of goodness. or one massive pillar of badness, for that matter. The NOPD has been a black mark on law enforcement for a very long time. One of my favorite TV shows slash movies talks about how bad it is. You take a look at NCIS New Orleans and some of the things that the cops, most were portrayed as good, but they did show some of the corruptness down there. We need to get to a point where we can quit thinking about law enforcement as what a lot of people think of for New Orleans. Now, I know there are good cops down in New Orleans. I've had friends that are from there that have talked about some of the cops that they've dealt with. That there are times that, yeah, some of the cops can be a little ornery, but for the most part, they've had good thought processes. But they're also aware that there are just as many corrupt and bad cops down there. This is happening all over the country, but New Orleans is a special case. New Orleans really is a special case. So I hope they get it fixed. But while this is going on, we need to watch it as a nation because watching what has gone on in New Orleans can show you what to watch out for in your own city. So paying attention to New Orleans can help you understand what could happen in your city if things start going south. And that's something you really should pay attention to. But hey, this has been Paul. Oh, whoa, before I do that, if you're on Rumble or Facebook, I have a link tree attached to this video. It goes to my Patreon. If you would like to help me out, I could use the help. I'm trying to raise $3,000. It's only like a couple of bucks a month. It will really help, along with the like and subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, you could go to my Patreon or you could do the YouTube membership. Either one, like I said, it's only like a couple of bucks a month. It would really help me out. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So, folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.